Let's give it up for Rabbi Lustig Jr. Dear parents, friends, supporters of Oholei Torah, mechanchim. If you don't mind, I'll take this off. You know, when I was in Oholei Torah Zal, once Rabbi Yisrael was called up to speak, and the mic wasn't at his height. So Rabbi Pekarsky came over to him and whispered something to him. So Rabbi Yisrael grabbed the mic off, like I just did, and he said, Rabbi Pekarsky hat gesagt, as man soll reden zu der Sach. So I will try. Welcome to this beautiful Melava Malka as it's ending. Thank you, Maishi, for an incredible job this evening and for that beautiful introduction. I know you have a flight at 6:30, and you run a Chabad house in downtown Los Angeles, where I went on Mitzrayim for 2 years. Safe trip back, and atzlacha on your Hanukkah party tomorrow night in Los Angeles. There's a favorite Dvar Torah that I have related to Hanukkah, which is so appropriate to share tonight, and I will share it quickly, and Shlomi touched upon it. Why did we need the miracle that this one jug of oil shall last for 8 nights? There was no need for an extra miracle. The rule is, the halacha is, tumat choyu b'tzibur. If it's for a tzibur, you could use something that's tameh. There was absolutely no need for this one jug of oil to burn 8 nights. And that is the famous question of the Pnei Yehoshua, to which he answers that the Eibishter made the miracle, Aharos chibasan shal Yisrael, to show how much love the Eibishter has for the Yidden. But Rabbi Yosef Engel, in his Sefer Gilyoni Hashas, explains, no. This nest was absolutely needed. And I want to quote, I will read. He says, Nira, Dichivan shehaya oz Chanukas HaBayis, ki demuchach mima shekayrim es karbonis anasiyim b'Hanukkah. Listen to these words. V'hi haschala v'roish l'chal haba acharav, l'chein hutzrach sheyiyeh b'tahara gemura v'loi b'dechias tahara. Rabbi Yosef Engel explains that when it came to Hanukkah, it was a chinuch of the Beis HaMikdash. They were rededicating, re-inaugurating the Beis HaMikdash. They couldn't use the heter of tumat choyu b'tzibur. They couldn't do anything b'di'eved. It was hutzrach, that when you start something off, and it's a haschala v'roish, l'chol haba acharav, it's mamish important that it's done b'tahara gemura. You must do it 100%, all the way, without any exceptions, without any tricks. You have to do it right. So therefore, this nest was absolutely needed. The Hanukkah, when they were mechanech the Mizbeach, mechanech the Beis HaMikdash from new after the Yevanim destroyed it, they needed to have this nest, dafka, to use Shem and Zayazach. And this mamish brings out what Oholei Torah is all about. This is what the Rebbe wanted, to establish a Moisid Chinuch al Taras HaKodesh. And the Rebbe wanted, we're in a building campaign, the Rebbe wanted that when we're building the foundation of young Talmidim, of young children coming into Yeshiva, the Rebbe wanted that it should be, that because it's a haschala v'roish, this is who they're going to be for the rest of their life, l'chal haba acharav. The Rebbe wanted that it should be betara gemura. And the Rebbe wanted that it should be a moisin chinuch al taras hakodesh. No exceptions, no b'di'eveds, no tumat chuyu hutr b'tzibur. The Rebbe wanted real, authentic chinuch for young Talmidim who are so impressionable, and this will impact them for the rest of their life. Standing here tonight, I am so proud to go and walk to Oholei Torah every day and serve there as one of the mechanchim, along with 300, close to 300 fellow colleagues who go to Oholei Torah, who are ibergegeben and devoted, who share this mission, and who are doing an amazing job at it to provide uncompromised, uninterrupted, pure Hasidic chinuch imbued with midas tayves, Yerushalayim, avas Torah, and Hasidishkeit, and we have many, many thousands of Talmidim to be proud of. I was given the impossible task tonight. Officially, the title of my speech is to give you an update from what's happening in Yeshiva. I was also given the impossible task because I was put at the end of the program, and they told me to make it in 5 minutes. 5 minutes will not allow me to tell you what's really happening in Oholei Torah, but I will try. I will try. Let me start by saying as follows. What's the difference between running a business and running a moisid? I think we have some businessmen here. What's the difference between running a business and running a moisid? The answer is the bottom line. What is the bottom line? When you run a business, the bottom line is clear. The bottom line is profits. You're in the business to make money. It's that simple. Everything that you're going to do, every decision made in that boardroom, every decision made by every employee down the chain of command is for one bottom line. We're here. It's a for-profit organization. We're here to make money. A Maisid has a different bottom line. A Maisid's bottom line is its mission. A Maisid's bottom line is to accomplish its goal of why this Maisid exists. So let me ask you, would you invest in a business that the CEO only sells furniture that he likes, that he would only put in his own house, or that the CEO only sells books that he likes, that he would only put in his own house? Not at all. You want to invest in a business that the CEO is money-minded. He has the bottom line in mind the entire time. He'll sell any book, any piece of furniture, even if he thinks it's ugly, even if he would never in his own life buy that, he's going to sell it because he is mission-minded, and his mission is, his bottom line is to make a profit. It's a for-profit organization. And if you wanted to invest in a business, you sure would want to invest in a business that has such a CEO. And that's the culture of the company. Focused on the mission, we're here to make money. A Maisid's bottom line is very different. A Maisid's bottom line is its mission. It's not about the money. Cheshbainis have to sometimes be put aside. Decisions have to be made. What is best for our Talmidim? What does this Maisid need? How can we provide a better and more real and authentic and individualized chinuch to our Talmidim? Money questions aside, we'll worry about the money later. And that is the Maisid of Oholei Torah. Similar to the mission that the Rebbe set out. Maisid of Oholei Torah is here to run mission-oriented as all the mechanchim come to Yeshiva every single day, focused on the mission. I am very lucky to work in a Maisid that the leadership of this Maisid, the board of directors, Rabbi Mendel Blau, the Menal Klali, and Rabbi Yossi Langsam, the executive director, never take their eyes off the mission. Constantly, whenever I have conversations with any of them, there's always one thing in mind. Is this something that will make chinuch better? Is this something that will make this division better? Is this something that will make that division better? We'll worry about the money later. Let's do it for our Talmidim. In Oholei Torah, if the bottom line is in mind, and if we feel a certain move, if we make a certain move, it will impact our bottom line. We'll have better chinuch. We'll have happier Talmidim. Talmidim who are in a better state, socially and emotionally, and they're limud Torah. Oholei Torah says, let's do it. They get it done, and they worry about the money afterwards. And it's a pleasure. It's a real pleasure to work in such a Maisid that is so focused on their bottom line. So now, to give you an update on the yeshiva, it's really impossible. Rabbi Mehem v'hi efshar lefartam. I can't go through every single upgrade and every single update that has happened in yeshiva in the past couple of years, literally just in the last 2-3 years. Unbelievable updates. But they all share the same thing, the same theme. They all have the same thing. Like Rabbi Yosef Engel said, we have a focus that because chinuch is roish v'risha and l'chal haba acharav, we're going to do it right, we're going to do it all the way, and we're going to do it over the top. And that theme is through every decision that was made, all the way from the board of directors, through the chain of command, and most importantly, to the mechanchim who are there in the classroom every single day, teaching our precious kinderlach. Let me start with 667 Eastern Parkway. I'll start with the division that I'm lucky to work in, along with 22 most amazing, dedicated mechanchim in Oholei Torah grades 5, 6, and 7. Our division keeps on growing. Every year, we went from 15 classes to 16 classes, 17 classes. So obviously, every year we have a new class. There will be a new teacher in the classroom. The time has come where I went to the leadership of Oholei Torah, and I said, it's time that we increase the leadership of our division. I was fortunate to work alongside Rabbi Yoni Lefkowitz, the most dedicated vice principal in Oholei Torah grades 5, 6, 7. We have 382 Talmidim under our care. And we went to the leadership, we said we could use another hand. They said, if that's what you need, you have it. And thank Baruch Hashem, we were Zaycha, the Rabbi Yossi Evers has joined us in the leadership of grades 5, 6, 7. I told Yossi Langsam, Rabbi Mendel Blau, We could use, just for Oholei Torah grades 5, 6, 7, a dedicated person to be there for the social and emotional well-being of our Talmidim. They said, you have it. And we were Zeicha, and we hired Rabbi Mendel Kleinman. We have a resource room already, staffed by Rabbi Mendel Polter. I said we could use another resource room. There's so many Talmidim who need that individual attention. They said, you have it. And this year, I hired Rabbi Avram Deitch. I hope you realize what's happening here. If you want to sit in a boardroom and make a cheshbon what the cost is per student, the cost per student in Oholei Torah grades 5, 6, 7 just increased tremendously. 3 individuals were hired just this year, just for building, not for building physical buildings, which is important, for building quality chinuch. We hired Rabbi Yossi Evers as a vice principal, Mendel Kleinman dedicated to the social and emotional well-being of all our Talmidim, Avram Deitch, and this is an addition, and I wish I could mention everyone's name. But this is in addition to the 22 mechanchim and all the support staff who have been there all the years in this division. And that's truly amazing. And it's a pleasure to work in such a yeshiva that the bottom line is what matters and the bottom line is our focus. And I must add that Oholei Torah is celebrating an anniversary, and we are lucky that's not only for the division of grades 5, 6, 7, but it's surely impacted our division and all divisions that Oholei Torah saw the need and brought in Rabbi Mendel Blau to serve as the Menal Klali of Oholei Torah. What Rabbi Mendel Blau has accomplished in year 1 is a story that I can't share in the 5 minutes that I was given to speak here tonight, and I will probably go over time. Now, as you know, 8th grade moved out of our building. Now, what that allowed us to do, people don't realize, that allowed us to rethink the entire 667 campus, and we were able to reshuffle so many things. Until now, as we had to add classes, we kept on adding one classroom here, one classroom there. We figured out we're experts at taking down walls, putting up walls, creating doors, closets, rooms, offices, and that's what happened. But when you do that, it's not always ideal. This summer, we had a unique opportunity. 8th grade moved out of the building, and it allowed us to reshuffle the 667 campus. Let me share with you a little bit of what happened in 667. First of all, every grade got its own wing. 7th grade has its own wing now. 6th grade has its own wing. 5th grade has its own wing. Grades 3, 4, they were never on the same floor. They were always on multiple floors, ground level, 1st floor, 4th floor. Now the grade 3, 4 division led by Rabbi Mendel Barber are all on the same floor. We were able to create a wellness center because we moved some classrooms downstairs led by Rabbi Yankee Raskin. We have dedicated therapists and social workers and people who care about the well-being of every single Talmud. They have a beautiful, secluded wellness center where Talmidim are comfortable to go and speak to whoever it may be, the wonderful staff that work there. So we have a wellness center. Every division has its own wing. Every grade has its own wing. We built a new basketball court just 2 years ago in front of the new dormitories. We renovated the gym. There was raises for the staff. There was more staff brought in, like I mentioned before. Oholei Torah makes sure to always have a trained, professional, caring EMT on staff. We expanded our reading and lending library. And so many, this is just part of it, so many amazing things have been taking place at 667 Eastern Parkway campus. Just because 8th grade was able to move out, we had an opportunity to rethink the campus and quality chinuch. We're building Talmidim and building chinuch, and it's happening in a much better way than ever before. Now, how could I not mention, part of 667, you would never know if you're in the elementary part. 667 is also the host to our Zal. By 8th grade moving out and us reshuffling our classrooms, we were able to give a sliver of the 4th floor to the Zal where they could put their bathrooms and offices and copy room and teacher's room and staff lounge and all those important rooms. We were able to give them a sliver in our elementary department, give it to them by 8th grade leaving, and then the Zal was able to expand to take in an additional 90 Bachrim. I think that's underappreciated. This past summer, there were people writing op-eds, people writing comments online. There's a crisis in Lubavitch. There's not enough yeshivas. People are making committees. They're pressuring yeshivas. They're putting this one down, that one down. There's one Maisa that I know that did something about it. And first of all, it came from the Menalim of the Zal. They had enough people on their plate. They have enough of a job on their plate. But they went to the board of directors. They went to Yossi Langsam. They went to Rabbi Blau. And they said, we want more room for our Zal. We're turning away too many Bachrim. And a vision was envisioned. And a plan was made, and they figured out how by moving 8th grade out and giving them all this part of elementary that we were able to afford to give away, an additional 90 Bachrim were accepted to Zal. Imagine you saw an article online on some Chabad website that said, we're here to answer the crisis of Bachrim and Zal who don't have where to go. And some yeshiva in some state in Nebraska, some shliach figured out, and he opened a Zal for 21 Bachrim, and he would be a hero, and he would be saluted. Oholei Torah took in 90 Bachrim overnight, the middle of the summer. Bachrim are brought in with there's a dorm room. There's the dorm had to, and that's because of the last campaign. People who donated to the Breitkai campaign a few years ago, we were able to buy a second dormitory. So now we were able to take a 90 Bachrim just like that. Nobody could do that. Only Oholei Torah could do that. 90 additional Bachrim. I know I don't work in Zal. I work in grades 5, 6, 7, but I'm proud to work in Oholei Torah when I know that our yeshiva cares for every single Talmud. And that's the bottom line, and that's the mission. 90 additional Bachrim have a yeshiva to go to. Of course, there were more mashpiyim hired, more Rosh Yeshiva hired, more dorm space created. And that's truly unbelievable. And this is all just at 667 Eastern Parkway. And do people even know that our Zal has 3 divisions? There's a Shir Aleph Beis, led by Rabbi Nasi Deitch, Shir Daled by Rabbi Chani Leshes, a Shir Hey for Bachrim who want to stay and learn an extra year by Rabbi Avram Chaim Stern. There's amazing things happening at our 667 campus. And while talking about the Zal, I must mention, this past summer, I was heading to a chinuch conference in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. And of course, Oholei Torah bought a brand new camp, and like Oholei Torah does everything over the top, renovated this brand new camp in the Poconos. So I called the camp director, Rabbi Yisrael Levertov. I said, I'll be passing by, literally. Could I come visit the camp? And Rabbi Levertov said, sure. I said, what time is Shachris in camp? And I think it was 8 o'clock in the morning. So I said, okay, I'll leave early. I was in the Catskills. I'll leave early in the morning. I want to daven Shachris there and tour the camp. And I ended up in the camp, and I know that in the camp there's an 8th grade division. No 8th graders have to worry ever again about where they're going to be for the summer. There's a Masifta division, which is also amazing, and nobody has to worry and talk about the summer from Hanukkah on. They could focus on learning. And I heard that a new Zal program opened. I get there 8 o'clock in the morning, and the head staff told me, listen, they installed an amazing air conditioning system in this brand new 8th grade Zal. But the electricity that the campground had does not yet, can't hack it. And the electricians are coming actually today. This is the first week of camp. The electricians are coming today to provide a new line of electricity that the air conditioning in the 8th grade Zal should work. But we suggest that you don't daven with the 8th grade, because that's where I went. Those are my most recent Talmidim. We suggest you go daven with the Zal's Zal, and over there you'll have air conditioning. You'll have a much more comfortable davening. And I went to daven with this new Zal program, a new summer program. I never saw anything like that in my life, and I'm not exaggerating. When I was in Zal, I was friends with many Hasidic Bachrim, Masmidim who sat and learned. There was no such option. There was no such option. And here I saw 40-something Bachrim sitting and learning. It was one of the most serious davenings I ever participated in my life. Not a cell phone to be seen in sight, with amazing staff, with Rabbi Fischel Aster, Rabbi Littman Heller, and whoever else was there. And it was truly remarkable. And the Masifta program and the 8th grade program. And as I'm getting my tour, Rabbi Yisrael Levertov shows me a new division that I didn't know existed. There were a couple of Bachrim and Shir Gimel Masifta who couldn't be part of any mainstream camp. 8 Bachrim. There was no money cheshbon made over here. 8 Bachrim. They hired a staff member that those 8 Bachrim should not be on the streets or not have where to go for the summer. And they created a new division just for 8 individual Oholei Torah Talmidim who needed a special program just for themselves. Now, like I mentioned, Oholei Torah 8th grade moved out of the building. I'm not going to elaborate. Speak to any teacher, menahalim, parents, or students of the new 8th grade Mechina division in Troy, the newly renovated division. What they're sharing is unbelievable. And the Masifta, where we stand tonight, which allowed this whole chain of events to happen. I was fortunate to come visit this Masifta a couple of times in action. First of all, I learned that the Masifta has 2 Zals, 2 divisions. Shir Aleph has its own division with its own Skamanal, Rabbi Eliaster. Shir Beis Gimel has its own Zal with its own Skamanal, Rabbi Zami Laufer, all led by Rabbi Silman. And nothing in this building was done by the Eved. No Tomot Choya B'tzibur, no Tomohotra B'tzibur. And there was a choice. I remember those conversations in the summer. There was a choice. Maybe let's get Yeshiva started in Elul. The building won't be perfect. And the decision was no, no, no. This is the beginning. This is a new building. We're going to do it all the way. They rented another building down Remsen for who knows how much money, for a lot of money, for the month of Elul, just that this building that they only gained access to on July 1st should be renovated, l'shem, l'siferes, and the Talmidim should come here and spend the entire day here from morning to night with a lounge and a library and zals and a canteen and a Mirza Shem mikveh and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful conditions over here. So allow me to share one last point. They're telling me I got to stop. I told you I would go over 5 minutes. Why is this campaign of Oholei Torah tonight, building OT, why is this campaign different than every other campaign? I've seen so many fundraising campaigns in the past. All of the fundraising campaigns have all the slogans, fuel the growth, let's build the future, let's expand. But all of them are dreams that you hope will come true. They show you we have a closing date, we have a property that we're hoping to go on contract to, a property that we're in contract, we need money for the down payment, this is a rendering, this is a blueprint, it's dreams. I'm standing right now, right here tonight, all of us are standing in a dream come true. Oholei Torah 555 Remsen exists, it's happening, it's up and running. If the Eibishter gave you the means and you're able to donate $54,000 to dedicate a classroom, perhaps a payment plan over 3 years, which is, I think, $1,500 a month. This is the place to give it. It's not a maybe. We might close. Our lawyer told us we might get it. We might get the variance. We might get the update. This place is up and running because Oholei Torah went ahead and opened it. Now they're worrying about the money. And money is a worry. So I am honored to work here with this mission in Oholei Torah, focused on the bottom line. And whoever is able to help out with the bottom line, Tava Yelecha Bracha, the schus is yours. A gute Woche and a freilichen Hanukkah.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Lustig.